What led me to this? How did I, a woman who meticulously controls every aspect of her life, find myself caught in something so reckless, so undeniable? Chicago O'Hare International Airport terminals pulse with energy, a cacophony of rolling suitcases, hurried conversations, and distant flight announcements. The air is thick with jet fuel and the rich aroma of fresh coffee, a heady mix of anticipation and fatigue. I stand beside a sleek black SUV, scrolling through work messages, my manicured nails tapping against the screen. Dressed in a pristine cream-colored powersuit, I am the embodiment of control, poise, and ambition. As the CEO of one of the world's leading finance companies, I have spent years cultivating an empire, commanding boardrooms, and ensuring that every decision is executed flawlessly. My husband, a high-ranking executive in a top tech firm, is more of a business partner than a companion. His affections come in material forms: luxury vacations I take alone, exquisite jewelry that sits untouched in velvet cases. He is absent in every way that matters. I tell myself I don't need more, but then, him. A series of fragmented moments flash before me: the accidental brush of fingertips, the unwavering intensity in his gaze, the quiet tension in a dimly lit boutique fitting room, a rooftop terrace bathed in the warm glow of Chicago's skyline, the space between us almost non-existent, the charged silence of a sauna, a whispered name in the dark. And then one voice, deep and one I hadn't heard in years. "Hey, Aunt Isa, long time no see." I look up and stop moving, frozen in motion. Leo, my political nephew, not by blood, but through marriage. The boy I met when I married his uncle. Duffel bag over one shoulder, sun-brushed face, sharp jaw, hazel green eyes full of a teasing glint. Worlds apart from the spotty, braces-filled boy I'd remembered, with spotty limbs. A smirk plays on his lips. He knows I'm staring. I recover quickly. "You've grown up," Leo chuckles, adjusting the strap of his bag. "So I've been told." Our ride to One Bennett Park is smooth, yet thick with an energy neither of us acknowledges. The elevator ride up is even quieter. I keep my gaze ahead, refusing to let it drift toward the broad frame standing beside me, noticing, feeling. The following morning, I drive Leo out to Oak Street for a trip to the shops. The frayed blue jeans and tatty t-shirt scream small-town Iowa, and cute, but not in a city such as this one. Boutiques in a city such as this require a level of refinement, something that will go with him and with his new life in Chicago. Inside a high-end boutique, I select out items for him to try on. Tailored pants, fresh button-downs, a fitting blazer. Leo humors me with a smile, taking the stack of clothes into a fitting room. A few minutes pass, then out comes Leo. The transformation is breathtaking. The button-down clings to his broad shoulders. The pants break perfectly at his waist. No longer college boy whom I saved at an airport, but a man. A handsome one at that. Leo raises an eyebrow. "Better?" I try for a calm nod. "So much better." He retreats into a fitting room, but when a little of the curtain opens, I see an unplanned view. Him in reflection in a three-way mirror, shirtless with chiseled abs and strong shoulders. My breath holds for a beat. I deflect my eyes quick. What in the devil's name is wrong with me? The rooftop lounge of iVertical Bar O Godfrey glows in contrast to city lights below in Chicago. Fire pits burn low and warm. There's a whiff of high-dollar cologne and top-shelf whiskey in the air. The city roars below, restless and vibrant below us. Leo drinks it in, grinning. The city is insane. I look at him over my glass rim. "Welcome to your city." We don't sit alone for long, though. A group of young women notices Leo almost immediately. They flock to him, giggling, leaning in, their hands casually brushing his arm. One of them tilts her head, laughing at something he says, while another playfully tugs at the sleeve of his jacket. Their eyes are wide, eager, soaking in every inch of him. My fingers tighten around my glass. I tell myself it's nothing. that this feeling, the twisting knot in my stomach, is ridiculous. I remind myself that Leo is young, that attention like this should be expected, but the way his eyes crinkle at the corners when he smirks at them, the easy way he leans in just slightly to hear them better, it's getting to me more than I want to admit. Still, when Leo finally breaks away from the group and returns to our table, loosening his collar with a boyish chuckle, I can't help myself. "Didn't expect that kind of attention?" I ask, my voice cool. Leo grins, shaking his head. "Not exactly." He runs a hand through his hair, the motion effortless, self-aware. I swirl the ice in my glass, watching as it clinks against the sides. "You always were handsome, you just didn't know it?" Leo's gaze lingers. "And what about now?" I hold it for a second too long, then look away, taking a slow sip of my drink, feeling the burn trail down my throat. Midnight. I sit alone on my private rooftop balcony, a glass of wine in my hand. The city stretches out below, glinting in golds and oranges. It's quieter up here, the honking horns and muffled laughter of the streets muffled by elevation. The wind brushes against my skin, cool despite the warmth of the day still lingering in the concrete below. Leo emerges, his collar unbuttoned, hair tousled from the wind. He holds a glass of wine, swirling the deep, rich red liquid slowly, watching it as if searching for answers in the ripples. He leans against the railing, exhaling softly. "I gotta admit something," he tells me. I turn to face him. "Oh?" Leo takes a deep breath, rubbing the base of his neck. His fingers hesitate there, like he's debating how much to say. "I don't have a lot of practice with girls." I raise an eyebrow. The way the girls at the lounge were throwing themselves at him, I'd have bet my life I was looking at a player. The confidence, the easy way he laughed, how they hung on his every word, it all screamed experience. Leo chuckles, shaking his head. "Back in my hometown, I was a nerd. And in college, I focused on my studies. I never actually did a lot of that." He falters, then just says it. "I'm a virgin." I stop. My fingers tighten around my glass, pressing against the cool stem. I should say something. Anything. But the words stick in my throat, trapped between disbelief and something else I refuse to name. Leo's eyes stay locked on mine, a flicker of humor in his grin, though there's something more underneath, a quiet challenge. "Guess I shouldn't have told you that, huh?" he speculates, tilting his head slightly. I let out a sharp breath, one I hadn't realized I was holding. "No, you shouldn't have." But now it's out there. The words hang between us, impossible to take back, impossible to ignore. Leo takes a slow sip of wine, his gaze never wavering. "You're the first one I've ever told." I swallow thickly. "Why me?" A hesitation, a beat of silence, and then a slow, knowing smile. "Because you're the only one who looks at me and sees me, not just a boy from a small town." I drop my eyes, my heart thudding a little too fast against my ribs. "You should go sleep. Long day today." Leo doesn't argue. He drains his wine and stands, but at the doorway, he hesitates. His fingers hover over the frame before he turns back, his expression unreadable. "Good night, Issa." I nod, keeping my gaze fixed on the skyline. "Good night, Leo." The second he's gone, I let out a slow, measured breath, one I hadn't even noticed I'd been holding. My thoughts swirl, tangled, dangerous. For the first time, I wonder, really wonder, if Leo sees me in the same way I'm starting to see him. And that's a problem. The following morning, I step into the private sauna in my building, the thick heat swallowing me at once. The air is dense, wrapping around my skin like a second layer, coaxing the tension from my muscles. I sink onto the bench, closing my eyes, allowing the weight of the past few days to slowly unravel. And then, the door opens with a soft creak. Leo enters, shirtless, a towel slung low around his hips. My throat goes dry. I force my gaze straight ahead, pretending not to notice the way steam clings to his skin, how beads of sweat slide down his toned chest. He smirks, settling beside me, stretching out like he belongs here, like he belongs next to me. "Didn't think you'd be the sauna type." I keep my voice even. It's relaxing. Leo leans in slightly, the humid air carrying his voice lower, rougher. Maybe you should let go. Just once. Our eyes meet, and then he kisses me. Soft, slow, testing. Heat floods through me, different from the steam, deeper, more dangerous. My breath catches, my pulse hammering, my fingers twitching against the bench. For a split second, I don't pull away. But then, I do. This can't happen, I say, voice unsteady. Leo's smirk deepens as I rise to my feet, my heartbeat an unsteady rhythm in my chest. I can feel his gaze on me as I rush out, feel the weight of what almost happened pressing against my back. Are you sure about that? His voice follows me, teasing, knowing. Midnight. The rooftop pool glows under soft lights, its reflection shimmering against the water. I slip in, letting the warmth ease my tension, trying to drown the thoughts circling in my mind. The night is quiet, the hum of the city a distant murmur below. Footsteps. I don't turn, but I know. Leo. He steps into the pool, the ripples of his movement reaching me before he does. Closer, closer than he should be. And then I feel it, hard, pressed against my hip beneath the water. My breath falters, my chest tightening. Leo's voice is deep, rough, his control unraveling. I can't resist it. I turn, my heart hammering, my hands gripping the water's surface like it can anchor me. Leo, we can't. His mouth crashes onto mine. A moan slips past my lips before I can stop it, before I can think. Heat, pressure. His hands on my waist, pulling me flush against him, his body telling me everything he isn't saying out loud. Then, footsteps, voices, residents approaching. We break apart in a rush, spinning to opposite ends of the pool as if distance will erase what just happened. But it's too late. The moment lingers between us, thick and undeniable. We both know exactly where this is headed. I pace my room, my hands shaking. I could have shut it down at the pool, shut down at the boundary. But when I shut my eyes, I can almost yet feel his hands, the way in which he regarded me such that I could be undone. A soft knock at my door. I stop moving. Issa? Leo's voice is soft but insistent. We have to speak about it. I don't respond. I can't. Seconds tick past, and then my door's handle turns. I could stop him. I don't. Leo enters, unbuttoned shirt, his chest moving in and out with an almost pacing motion. Tell me you don't have feelings for it. Tell me you don't crave it. I swallow thick. Leo, we can't. He approaches me. So why are you shaking? His hand brushes my wrist, soft and purposeful. I shut my eyes, taking a quick breath in, because I know what happens when I don't leave. Then don't. His voice a whisper, but almost a prayer. Stay, for tonight at least. And for a miracle, I comply. The penthouse is in shadows. Firelight flickers in the fireplace. I serve 2 cups of wine, not glancing at Leo. Leo sets down his cup, taking a step towards me. You're still fighting, aren't you? I draw a breath in. I have to. His fingers run over my waist, so say stop then. I don't. His mouth claims my mouth, long and deep. His hands wrap my hips, holding me to him, the robe I'd changed into. It slips down my shoulders. Leo scoops me up, carries me towards the bedroom. The camera lingers with the fireplace for a beat. The sound of my sharp inhalation lingers in the room. And then, the final shot? My hand holding onto the blanket. The morning sunlight creeps through windows. I'm resting my head over Leo's chest, his arm thrown lazily over me. For the first time in years, I'm calm. But reality comes at me with a frigid tide. I sit up gently, unbending my limbs. He shifts a little but doesn't stir when I grab my clothes. I shouldn't have stayed. I could have gone. I move out of the bedroom, my phone buzzing on the counter. A message at work. Emergency meeting. I steal a glance at Leo, his sleeping form peaceful, blissfully unaware of the storm in my head. Mistake? Was it?